Americans of Reddit, how do you feel about Trump possibly getting arrested? I'll believe it when I see it. Don't care. I just want him to go away. I'm just tired of hearing about him. Hopefully this will keep him out of the election. There was a time I would have cared, but now I just want him to go away forever. The amount of attention this person has stolen from everyone on Earth is just fucking outrageous. I don't care, I honestly don't want to hear about him anymore. A US president, but also it is completely unsurprising after the past 7 years we've been through. Exhausted. I'm so tired of him and frankly any of his mega chucklefucks having any influence on anything. He should already be in prison. Good, dude is a fucking criminal and has been for decades. He has embodied literally 95 of what is wrong with this country for the last 40 years. If he had involvement with the military complex, he would hit the 100 mark. It's going to be a complete SAHT show. Don't really care. He's too rich to actually stay in jail. I don't care, and apparently neither does anyone I know. Nobody I know has said anything about it on Facebook, group texts, at the office, etc. Nothing will ever come of it. And this country turns so slowly that he'll most likely be dead and buried before the trial ends anyway. If he did something wrong, then fine, he should be tried, given a fair trial. I believe everyone should get a fair trial no matter who they are, even if I don't agree with them. Wrong things and face no consequences. Hopefully he will start a trend of no one being above the law. As a right-leaning American, I hope he goes away. He makes conservatives look bad as a whole. Delighted. Good riddance, and I hope he rots in jail for the rest of his miserable life. Trump has been in legal trouble for decades and has been dodging arrest for a long time. Of all things, a hush money payment to a porn star. It will be long overdue and kind of humorous. They can come up with after 8 years. Trump just might be the cleanest politician on the planet. Idiot is a straight-up character from Idiocracy. Him and his idiot followers. If it happens, great, he should have been there years ago. But I don't have my hopes up. I'll let you know after it happens. Trump paid to have this happen so he'd be in the headlines again and to energize his base. Remember kids, you read it here first. The first time Dobrag has threatened to prosecute anyone for anything. Weird that he might get arrested for hush money to a porn star. Inciting a mob to overthrow the government by overturning an election. This seems rather pedestrian. Couldn't care less. Just honestly sick of hearing about Trump. I'll believe it when I see it, but if I see it, it'll be about effing time. I mean, as long as I don't have to hear about some news report about what he said on Twitter, you know. I wish that he himself would fuck off, along with the bashing over the head coverage that the media will eat up. It reminds me of an Ice Cube song. Some plan to arrest him tomorrow. Everyone talking about it probably ruins the chance of it happening. If it happens, it'll be the funniest thing that happens that day. I've gotten my hopes up too many times to get excited now. He isn't president anymore. He isn't relevant to me. If I can keep my Lebrons, I'm good with it. I don't care. Don't like the guy at all. I'm honestly worried about his nutjob followers causing issues where I live. I don't have the energy to deal with BS rioting or whining anymore. I'd like to not get stabbed, shot, hit, or trampled in public my workplace. For those outside the US, you can see the United States isn't very united. I'd rather it not be for this specific case. The case against him isn't incredibly strong, and the main witness, Cohen, is not a great asset. If this and the case falls apart, it will only Trump's narrative that he is a victim of a witch hunt. Long overdue. Don't expect much. Justice system is fucked. Not getting charged with insurrection or accessory to murder from Jan 6. I can't wait. The sooner the better, and the more things they arrest him for, the better off the world will be. Well, I'll believe it when he is placed in a cell. Not before. So tired of his bullshit. This corrupt con artist has gotten a pass way too many times, thinking he is equivalent to a mob boss when in reality he is a dumbass and completely insane, along with every single one of his cult followers. Put him in a cell, take away his damn phone, and watch him be and demanding release. Apathetic, because I don't think we'll ever actually hold him accountable. The rich in this country have proven time and again that they play by a different set of rules. Will bend over backwards to ensure that members of their party play by a different set of rules, too. Unlikely to happen, even less likely to go anywhere. It's all political theater. Don't give a shit, won't change anything. I'd say 99 of politicians should be in jail for the shit they pull. Well, if they find him guilty, then he should go to prison. Chanting lock him up, lock him up. Honestly, at this point I don't give a fuck. Hing is fucked no matter what side you're on, and the country is going to collapse soon enough as is. What took so damn long? Meh. Good. I'd prefer to not see him at all. He's a game show host that got a bunch of racists and racist-adjacent people to vote him. Donald Trump from The Apprentice. President. Sorry, I missed that. I'll believe it when I see it. I don't think he will be held accountable for the things he's done in any meaningful way. His cronies should be locked away for a very long time as well. I'm fine with it. Delighted. No one is above the law. Hope he gets his comeuppance. Indifferent. Hate his guts, but nothing is gonna come of it. Long overdue. Pleased to know that nobody is above the law. It's about goddamn time. Huff, he's rich and can probably weasel his way out of most of the consequences he deserves to face. I do not care much for him. Hopeful. Sonnily hate the guy, but because it does damage to our society when high-profile criminals walk free. I hope and pray, but I'm not holding my breath. Giddy. I'm cool with it. Good lord, shit is going to hit the fan. If it actually happens, isn't either all US sane people getting overly hopeful again? MP being his usual narcissistic overdramatic asshole self trying to stir up trouble to feed his ego. Ass about fucking time. Got a bottle of bubbly waiting for the news. If it happens, I will be delighted and relieved. Above the law, but rich assholes routinely get away with murder, and in Trump's case, inciting it. Good riddance to bad rubbish. I hope it happens and that he gets convicted. One can dream. If it happens, it sets a good precedent for people in power being held accountable for their actions. People have been screaming for his arrest for decades. I'll cheer when I actually see it. I hope Nasty Nate is his cellmate. But I'll get there, especially if they have to double cuff him while he insists he's still 235 pounds. I know they're not going to perp walk him, but a guy can dream. I'll believe it when I see it. I'll believe when I see it. And if it does happen, then good fucking riddance. That the justice system is finally doing its fucking job. It warms my heart. Getting the popcorn ready. Like, I hope they take that monstrosity off the top of his head before his mug shot. Fucking ecstatic if it actually happens. Go ahead, make my day. I'll believe it when I see it. But I'm pretty excited for the mug shot if it does happen. The meme fan in me is waiting for that mug shot like a pop fan waits for the release of a new group. I'll believe it when I see it. I do hope that Trump lives in absolute fear for the rest of his useless, racist, shit-stained life. I hope all politicians who commit crimes are arrested. He's no exception. 6 years too late. Highly doubt anything is going to happen, and to be honest, I couldn't give less of a fuck at this point. I'm so sick of political bullshit that I have no control over. I thought he was arrested a long time ago. I don't keep up with politics because I like my friends. I would love to see him get arrested, but not for the hush money. That is petty. Everyone who paid off a prostitute and lied about it Washington would have a lot more parking spaces. Do you love to see the criminal Trump behind bars, but for an actual crime, not a politically motivated one? Do you see him behind bars, but I would like for it to be because of one of his actually serious crimes. Not this shit. It has taken way too long, and I'm still cautious about getting my hopes up. He ain't getting shit. They've been threatening this for so long that I stopped getting my hopes up. They don't want to arrest him. They want the investigations to continue as long as possible. The investigations have opened a channel for them to funnel money into their pockets. I hope to God it happens and we can try to put this 7 years behind us. Keep in mind the whole thing is about payments he may have made to the lawyer of a porn star. If it even was a crime, it was a misdemeanor. This entire freaking scandal is being blown out of proportion. Well, I don't give a fuck, and I don't because the charges are irrelevant to his abilities as a president. Dangerous precedent. Everyone will start trying to imprison politicians on the other side. Resources better spent actually managing our fucking country instead of playing popularity contests. So many people here are saying they want him to go away and not hear about him anymore. I don't feel that way at all. I love hearing about him and I wish he was still on Twitter. Dude is comedy gold. He won't get arrested. But if he does, it'll just make him more popular to his people. Further division between the people. Can't have the left and right unmuted against the real enemy. As long as I don't have to hear from him or people who still think he's any kind of genius ever again. I don't care as long it's not because he's a threat to the other party's power.